Yeah, we back in here. You know what it is. In the Pocket Pack podcast. I was about to say podcast. It's me, Terrence, the Data Guy. Then we got Jose, the
Sleeper King,
Sleeper King, baby. The
ready
Sleeper
to go.
King. He the Sleeper King, but he's never sleep. He's always awake, okay? Always on it, you know. But he is finding your sleepers, the king of finding your sleepers. Back in it. Last week, we used the model. The model got us at about 60% win rate. We had a couple outliers out there. Um, Las Vegas, Carolina. That was a surprise. That's gonna happen every week. Um, I had a couple, maybe two or three other ones that didn't go the way we expected. But for the most part, we got 60% right. So we looking to just keep building that number. We trying to do 60 or better this week. So we got 3 games we really focusing on. We starting up. The odds are out. So we gonna get it started. You ready to do this?
Yeah, yes. Let's break
Let's
this
go.
down. So the
Let's go.
first game we're looking at is going to be the Vikings versus the Packers. All right, so let's
Vikings
see.
versus Packers. Last week we called it. We called it. Green Bay over Tennessee. Tennessee was the favorite, but we do. The model pulled in a couple of storylines, mainly Matt LaFleur's experience over the coach from Tennessee. Um, and pretty much Green Bay is just a better team. Tennessee is reeling right now, and we didn't think that Tennessee should have been a favorite, even though they was at home. Played out easy, easy money. This week, we going in a little bit opposite direction. We got Green Bay. This is just at the beginning of the model. Our uh, the initial showing is the initial odds are Green Bay are the favorites by 2.5. Um, right now, the model is saying Green Bay against Minnesota is saying Minnesota. It's saying Minnesota should be the favorites. I mean, they at Green Bay. So what we want to do is unpack this, break it down. We're gonna start out looking at a couple of factors of this game and see if we can just dig into the numbers and come up with uh you know which way we should lean on this. So we starting with coaching.
Yeah, so
Let's go.
you got Matt LaFleur against I think O'Connell. Is it O'Connell? Man, I forgot
Let's
his
see.
name.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put it up here in
Uh,
the model. We got Kevin O'Connell versus Matt LaFleur. We got
yes. So you got some injuries too for Green Bay as of today. You got Jair Alexander with a quadricep, defensive tackle Kenny Clark with a toe, tight end Tucker Craft with a shoulder, quarterback Jordan Love with a knee, tight end Luke Musgrave with a quadricep, and then center Josh Myers shoulders. You got all these on your list. Jaden Reed, he got a calf quadricep, and then right tackle. Man, they got a lot of injuries. And then another corner, Carrington Valentine with an ankle. The
mhm.
only non-participant is first. Yeah, so they look like they
Yeah.
have people injured. They all practice today with a limited practice, so that's good news for Green Bay. Um, so I'm going to ask: are they away or home? Green
Uh
Bay.
so Green Bay is at home. Green Bay is at home versus Minnesota. Um but just to get back on the coaching real quick. Um I like to we can talk about you want to go into injuries first and then go back to the coaching.
Well,
Um
yeah, I mean because the injury is going to help. define what the coach is gonna do. So like Jordan Love, if Jordan Love, they're talking about Jordan Love may play this game.
Okay.
If he does, that thing about where a new quarterback coming in, they've been watching film on Malik Willis. So if Jordan comes back, they got Jordan has to get back in rhythm, so forth. Um, Same thing with Jordan Anderson. If he comes back, that O'Connell has to figure out, okay, well, how we gonna plan this because Reagan been doing really good. Jefferson been doing good. So they can deploy it different ways. It can come at it differently. Both of them been running the ball really well. Um, I think the injuries will affect, especially the number line, but it also will affect, I think, the strategy on how they play.
All
Because
right.
I didn't know Sam Darnold knee. He said Sam Darnold knee was injured, but he was a full participant Wednesday, and then Jordan Anderson was limited.
Okay. All right. Let me just I got that coming right up for you. Here we go. Coming right up. All right. Um,
My bad. That was, as you can see, Bell's on the other side trying to step in.
oh, my bad. I wasn't even looking. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah,
Um,
but so I think so with this right here, I think it all depends on what quarterback because I think with each quarterback comes different style for Green Bay. I think Minnesota defense is much better than um, Green Bay's defense at this moment. So I can see why they're leaning more on Minnesota because of the defensive coordinators. So if I put my money, I would put my money more on Flores than I would put on a defense coordinator for Green Bay because I really don't really know who the defense coordinator for Green Bay is. I know they got some good players, but I've seen what Flores can do. He's coming from that Patriots background, and he's got them on my fantasy league. I'm leading with him with Minnesota on defense, so I can see why they're leaning, and I'm gonna go ahead and second that. I'm gonna lean with Minnesota on this game. Let me see, and then what does? And then I didn't know Justin Jefferson. I thought he was hurt, but he's fourth in yards total. Um, let's see the passing game for Minnesota. They've been doing more. Wow.
all
My
right.
goodness. All right, go ahead.
All right. I just updated the model with the injuries. So like you said, we got Jair Alexander out. We got the guard, um, Zach Tom. He's out. Center Josh Myers. I'm focused on the okay, yeah. Luke Musgrave and Jordan Love, Tucker Craft. Wow, all that tight ends. Um, Jaden Reed. Oh, oh, that's the wrong thing. Okay, let me just make sure this is right. All right, I got a typo in there for some reason. But yeah, so Jaden Reed questionable. Anybody else of note? No. So that'll be that's offense and defense. Now Minnesota, their big Dallas Turner, a linebacker, says he was limited during the Vikings walkthrough session. Um, so that's a pretty big blow. All right, we already know TJ Hawkinson been out. We know that. But as of note, Minnesota don't have a lot of big injuries. At least not a lot to their key players.
Well, on defense or offense, I know Anderson is out, is hurt with his ankle. But other than that, I think
Yeah,
everybody is relatively healthy.
they said he was limited, but when let's see who we got because it really didn't impact them a lot last when they played against Houston last week. So let's take a look and see um, who else might have stepped up during that game because it's looking like they were still able to pull it off. So um, yeah, so of course they got Jefferson. So I mean Jefferson. I think Naylor did well too. I think he caught a touchdown. Jalen Naylor.
Yeah, Jalen Naylor. He's the third receiver.
Yeah, he's a deep threat. Um, so it's looking like they were able to, and on top of that, he's limited. So there's still a chance he could play. So as far as injuries, I got to give the nod to Minnesota. Green Bay seems like it's having a lot more issues with injuries than than uh, than Minnesota. So so in the model, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go here to my SWE factors. Go down here to injuries, and let's just go right now. We're gonna have to go with a plus.
Oh, it's a revenge game too. You got Aaron Jones running back against
There
Green
we
Bay.
go. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that is
Revenge
a
game. That's
yeah, that's a
big.
yeah, that's definitely big.
That's big. Let's go ahead and give 2 points to Aaron Jones and put a note right there.
Because he said
Uh,
he even said on the broadcast on the note, he said definitely leaping on the if he scores a touchdown, he's definitely doing a Lambo leap.
Revenge game for Aaron Jones. Yes, that's a good play for the fantasy people too.
Yes.
Um, so so I got that in there. I got 2 for Aaron Jones. I got 5. I did a increase of 5 for the Vikings. That because compared to the Packers, they don't have a lot of injuries. Um, so I want to move back to coaching though.
Okay.
Um, so, like you mentioned, we got Brian Flores as the defensive coordinator. Brian Flores used to be a head coach, right?
Yeah, for Miami, he got like scapegoated or something like that. They fired him.
Yeah. So one of the things that I like is when a head coach moves back to a coordinator position. I feel like it's almost it's like a boost for them because before they went from having to worry about a whole team, to all of the stuff you got to do as a head coach, and now they back to what their specialty used to be. So I don't know if you ever been at a job where before you had 12 people on your team who you was managing, then you moved to another job and you only managing one person, it just gets so much easier. So I like that for Brian Flores. I think that's been showing up throughout the season. Um, so I'm going to give the edge here to Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator for Green Bay. This is his first year. Um,
Oh, you're
he,
so I'm already sold. This is his
yeah,
first year in the conference. He doesn't know the so this is Florida's second year in that team, so he knows the continuity of his players. He knows
yeah,
what they can do. He can move them around. Yeah, I got it. You sold me on that one.
yeah. So his name is Jeff Halfley, and he came from Boston College. He doesn't even have an NFL background. So, so I think we definitely got to lean with Brian Flores there. As far as the records, you see here, Matt LaFleur does have a better overall record and a 3-4 playoff record. Kevin O'Connell is 20-14, still a winning record, but not as good as a percentage as Matt LaFleur. As far as the rankings that was last put out that was put out at the beginning of the year, LaFleur is ranked 5, Kevin O'Connell ranked 12, around the same age. Um, so
What's their ratings against each other? What's their rankings? I mean, not rankings, but like what's the win loss against each other? I think. Um,
um,
I'm
that's
I'm,
a good
I'm
question.
asking Chat GPT right now.
Yeah. Ask ChatGPT. While you doing that, I'm gonna read the notes for each coach.
Okay, got it.
So, for Kevin O'Connell, so Kevin O'Connell is also the play caller, similar to Matt LaFleur. Kevin O'Connell called plays for Vikings since 2022 and during part of 2019 with Washington. Scheme leans toward passing with an emphasis on second level routes. Um, Vikings had third most dropbacks in NFL since 22, with few rushes by running backs. That could have been due to the personnel they had. Transitioning QB from could shift offense more toward rushing. All right. Key stat: Vikings have among the highest use of design rollouts. 8.4 dropbacks, third highest in NFL. All right. Packers head coach has called plays during his tenure. Previously called plays with the Titans in 2018. Established rhythm with Jordan Love after early struggles. Um, let's see. Key stat: used motion at the snap on 30%, 36% of plays in 2023. Fourth highest in NFL.
Mm.
Average 6 yards per play on those snaps. Fifth highest in NFL. So, man, right now, I like Matt LaFleur. Um,
But O'Connell, you did O'Connell,
yeah, I just read his first.
but all of them were on the DC staff, right?
All of who?
Matt LaFleur and O'Connell. So they're 1-1 against each other, splitting it.
They're 1-1.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I gotta go with Minnesota during this game.
I'm with you on that
I'm
one.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not call. We're not calling the game.
Oh,
That's how you break down the model. We're not gonna jump ahead of ourselves. We looked at
right.
injury. Now we looking at coaching. So now what we do is we say who has the edge in the coaching game, or is it pretty even?
The coach game who has the edge, I think, is O'Connell
You think so? Because of the defensive coordinator.
because of the defensive coordinator. If
Okay.
if if it was even with new defensive coordinators on each side, I probably would go with LaFleur because he's been head coach for the longest. Um, which is this his second year for O'Connell, I believe. So in that sense, since he has the defense and defense actually wins the game, I really think that defense is. I'm leading more towards Vikings because of the coaching staff.
Okay.
There's more experience.
All right. So what are we gonna do here is I'm gonna give an edge. Let's go back to the SWE. We're gonna go here to coaching. Just call take out coaching movement. Just put coaching. Coaching. We're gonna give the edge to Minnesota. So we're gonna say Minnesota. I'm gonna give them a advantage of 2 points right there. I'll put a note right here. Um, Green Bay new defensive coordinator. All right. Okay.
So,
So
so where we going to now for players now?
um so what we can do from here is
Because we have a revenge game, and it's being talked about. It's not talked about being a revenge game, but he just said, "I'm going to jump in the Lambo. I'm going to do the Lambo leap in Lambo."
right.
The defense is going to play harder to make sure that he don't do that. They're going to make
That
it.
is true.
They're going to make an emphasis to make sure that he ain't. Since he talked, they're going to make sure that gives you a little edge in the defense to say, "Hey, Jefferson might score, but you ain't doing the leap on us." So I forgot all about that factor. If you say it too early, that could also stop that because he's not beloved like Aaron Rodgers or like how um,
Right.
Tom Brady comes back to the
Yeah.
Patriots. They're about they'll still root for him even though they root for their team.
Yeah.
So I can see the crowd getting into it, making sure that he don't get um, his touches, and I can see the defense, you know, because the defense know how to play against him. They probably be like, hey, if anybody's gonna score, we understand Jefferson, but it ain't gonna be him.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. Um so matchups. Let's look at offensive line versus defensive line.
Okay.
Uh, not a huge. So away game here says Green Bay. Now, granted, I haven't put the injuries in yet. I know Green Bay got some injuries, but right now it's under 5, and for Minnesota's O line advantage, it's about equal. To
Mm,
me, I probably, without looking at injuries, if I was going off of this, I would give Green Bay 1 point, a 1 point advantage, based off of these numbers right here. But, um, but it would, but I gotta put the injuries in before we do that. So if we go back to the injuries real quick, um, and we looking at Green Bay, so Zach Tom, uh, center. This center right here. So that affects them.
I think it's a
The
guard
the
too.
yeah, guard. This defensive tackle, he must not be that relevant. Doesn't have a Manning ranking. Offensive tackle. Okay. Yeah, with the injuries, I might even make it, but I'll give it a 1. I'll give Green Bay a 1. So let's go back
So
here.
I like Minnesota defense against Green Bay offense.
Yep. So that was just looking at offensive line, defensive line.
And you know what I do too is I always go like, okay, I go quarterback against defense. Which quarterback is between the two, which quarterback is the best? This is how I look at things. So like I say, okay, is Sam Darnold a better against Green Bay's defense, right? But Sam Darnold is connected to Kevin O'Connell, so I got to put both of them together. So and then I have to put Malik Willis versus Minnesota defense. Can he read the
Mm-hmm.
defense? That's also going to be LaFleur. Can he read the defense? Is it going to be balanced? So forth. So when I started really like analyzing that, okay, receivers are better on the Minnesota side, right, compared to Green Bay. But Green Bay got their own good set of receivers. Green Bay got about really like 4 to 5 receivers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a tight end, but they do have a good running game. Minnesota has a running game. It's not as good as Green Bay, but they do have a running game. Their tight end is still hurt, so it's not really. They're more receivers as a 3 set. So on the advantage of linebackers, safety, corners, defense against Sam Darnold, on I give the edge to Sam. On the Minnesota side, if it's Jordan Love, I give the edge on Jordan Love because he can read defense, he can hit low with height. You know, with Malik, I give the edge more on running, not the passing, because I think that he can. The element of his speed and run game kind of makes a difference maker. So I give the edge if it's Jordan Love playing at a 50%, 60%, I still give the edge to Jordan Love.
Okay.
So I look so when I factor all that stuff, I say, okay, I give more fluid and continuity with Minnesota because they have only less players injured. So they're more in the rhythm where you have Green Bay, they're in the rhythm, but they've been coming in and out with players. Somebody's been hurt coming out, somebody's been hurt coming in, switching up. So they've still been doing good, but that's because of the organization. But that's my theory without looking at like analytics and numbers and stuff like that. That's what I look at. So
Okay.
I don't. So I give my grade to Minnesota in that part.
All right.
Spe-
Well,
Special teams, I'll give it to Green Bay.
let's see what the index with the let's see here. Filter week 4. Green Bay, Minnesota. So special teams, Minnesota. Defense, way Minnesota. That's way higher. Um, and then offense. So offense, they win Green Bay. So, but
But who's the quarterback on that model?
yeah, I think on this model it would probably be Jordan Love
Yeah,
because
yeah.
yeah. So, and that's the thing we don't know. We don't know if Jordan Love is playing or not. He was
I know.
questionable last week. He was 50-50 last week. So he might play. We don't know. Um, so what I would do right now, so FPI 3.3, 3.3 and 2.1. Is that right? No.
Man, I'm gonna also, you know what? I'm gonna give the confidence factor of Sam Darnold. So I'm gonna give the edge a little bit higher edge on Sam. I think, man, I really think Minnesota's gonna do well. Either they're gonna, yeah, I think they're gonna win. I think Sam Darnold, if they can get him rattled, then he would lose his confidence. But right now, his confidence is high.
I don't make a mistake in the model.
Whoa, whoa.
Oops. I knew something wasn't right. Well, that's why we're here, folks.
Yes, indeed. Building the script, figuring it out as we go. Keep chipping away until we get the right formula.
Right. So make sure that's on the way. That's on
'Cause-
home.
So what surprised me is how much Green Bay has been rushing this year. That's what surprised me the most. Green Bay is number one in rushing. I mean, that has to do a lot with Malik, but still, there's 612 yards rushing. Then Ravens, then Eagles. I can see Ravens, I can see Eagles, but Green Bay is a big surprise. Ooh, Commanders is ranked fifth, no, sixth in rushing. It's not bad, man. You're doing something. My man, my man, uh, Tony told me, he said, so I was like, I was sending him a text message about the Washington, like, man, they're looking good, man. He said, man, there ain't no room for bandwagon for on the bandwagon. I said, I mean, I'm a fan. He said, nah, you got two teams. You can't be a fan of both teams. I'm like, man, whew. I like, man, you know how many teams people like. You can't tell me you can't like just one team. I say if you play fantasy football, I say since you play fantasy football, you like every team. You over there rooting for every team,
That's true. That is true.
especially plays on each team. So, but that was funny when you said get off the bandwagon. I was like, man,
So I say we go ahead. I think we both in agreement on this. We both so far the factors that we looking at. We like Minnesota on the road in Green Bay. You know,
yeah,
so we
I'm
we
with
got
that.
we got Aaron Jones doing a Lambeau leap. So things could always change throughout the week, but right now, you know, that's that's where we are. Um,
All right, we're gonna hit it to the next game, which is the Bengals
I
versus the
say,
Panthers.
man, look at this, man. I say we go ahead and skip to the meat. What people wanna
All
hear,
right,
man.
we can go to the Bills and the Ravens Sunday
Yeah,
night game.
let's go ahead and get to it,
You
man.
know,
This what everybody want to talk about.
get the
Um,
sirloin, get the ribeye or the filet
yes,
mignon.
yep. So
All right.
right now they got Baltimore at home against the Bills. They got them at the favorites at 2.5. Um, the model says this is the Bills. This is all the Bills game. So let's dive into it. Um, this is actually according to the model, this is the bet of the week. So we're gonna see. We're getting into some big variances this week. Um, so let's start out with the coaching. Or you know what? No, let's start out. Let's do the same thing we did before. Start out with the injuries. Um, let's
Look,
see here. Baltimore.
I'm gonna look at the Bills injuries while you look at Baltimore injuries.
All right.
All right, I got Nickelback, Teron Johnson, forearm, and linebacker Terrell Bernard will not play when the Bills travel to Baltimore. So I don't know who they are. It'll be a third straight game missed. All right.
I think another thing I need to start looking at is injuries by week. Right now I'm kind of just looking at the injuries. I'm looking at the injuries currently as they are, but I probably need to say, all right, who was out last week that's coming back this week? It might just be helpful.
So three Ravens offensive linemen, center, right tackle, and left guard, did not practice Wednesday. Each of the three linemen played only all 63 snaps Sunday. So I don't know what that means. So probably they're resting up, probably. Yeah, wasn't they don't have any hardly no injuries. You got Tyler Grable, offensive tackle. He's the groin rookie. He suffered a groin injury. He's out. Not out, but he's yeah, he's gonna miss this game. Yeah, looks like Bills is fully healthy. And then for Ravens injury report, I found Ravens is Tyler Lindenbaum, center. He got a knee, did not practice Wednesday. Patrick McCurry, offensive lineman neck, did not practice Wednesday. It's the same people I just said. For he's
I'm showing
shoulder.
some injuries on both of them. Is this right?
Raycon Smith, ankle hurt, limited practice Wednesday. He gonna play.
Matt Milano, linebacker,
I don't have Matt Milano.
for the
Oh,
Bills. Teron Johnson.
he's on injury reserve though.
Yeah, I mean that's still. I'm looking at players that are impact players.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Terrell Bernard, linebacker. Shalon Grave, I don't know who that is. So those are the two. Yeah, but you're right. It's way more injuries on Baltimore. Um, so far it looks like Buffalo defense having some issues with some linebackers that could benefit Derrick Henry. Um, but like you said, Rokon Smith was limited. Uh, Michael Pierce, defensive tackle. So they both got two big defensive players out. Christian Matthew, cornerback. Is he a starting cornerback? Do you know?
Who?
Christian Matthew.
No.
Oh, yeah, he's probably not because it looks like he's out. He's out. Um, um. So I don't know. I would kind of say these injuries are pretty much even. What you think?
Yeah. What the
Yeah.
injuries?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
Or you
that.
think the Roquan Smith, Michael
Nah,
Pierce?
he's playing. I mean, he's injured, but he's playing. I think he'll probably get a
Okay,
shot.
but playing injured is still, yeah. I mean, playing injured, that's still tough. So we just gotta keep monitoring that. So if
Yeah,
we
but it's
saying
but
that,
it's Sunday night. It's Sunday night. He can get healed by Sunday night on
right?
an ankle injury.
That's true. That's true. So I'm actually gonna give 1 point to the Ravens. What do you think? Or you think it's just even? It's not really
For injuries, I would
yeah.
put 1 point on Bills because they're the more healthiest.
But even with not having Teron Johnson at cornerback, um, he was rated at 86, so he's a
Yeah, but if
and
you look at it,
Matt Milano.
most of their starters haven't. Most of the starters that have been starting from week one is still there.
Okay,
So I look at it as that like they don't have like really significant injuries that's gonna make a change in the defense, make a change
gotcha.
in the offense. You know.
Okay, okay. That's a way to look at it. I mean, since they've been there since day one, but it ain't there. It's not their guy there though. It's not, But
Yeah, but
I'm gonna go
that's
ahead and go with your. So I'm just gonna get the Bills advantage by 1 point.
see
All
the
right.
Bills actually surprised me on how they're winning. Like they're actually like they've surprised me on how they're winning because I expect them to lose at least because they don't have any of their receivers. But Allen been elevating their players even more than they are. So I think Allen is the X factor.
Okay. Let's look at coaching.
Okay.
Two top 10 coaches here: John Harbaugh versus Sean McDermott. Now, interesting is they both have two new defensive coordinators that were promoted from within. Um, so that's interesting. As far as play calling, Buffalo Bills have a new play caller in Joe Brady and
Well,
Todd.
He's been there.
He just got promoted this year.
Yeah,
He
but
was.
he was calling the plays at the end of the season.
Oh, okay, okay, that's
Yeah,
good to know.
so he finally got to like implement his style.
Got you. Okay, and then we still got Todd Monken um, as play caller for the Ravens. Let's
Ooh,
read.
I can't wait to get into this. I got some analysis.
Go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right, so what I've seen is this is that you got continuity with um Brady and the Bills, right? So with the Bills, what's from my point of view, what's dynamic about the Bills is that they don't have a true number one receiver where there's it's just like how I look at it is when Mahomes lost Tyreek.
Mm-hmm.
There was no receiver, so now he could spread the ball. There was no concentration or focal point to say, "Hey, this is where you're attacking." So it's kind of like a wild card. You don't really know who to double, who
Right.
they're going to be focused. So there's no tendencies right now because he has no person to lean on. So right now, the person with the most target is, of course, Kincaid, the tight end, and then you have Shakir, I think, that wide
Mm-hmm.
receiver number 10. And then
And
you
Cole.
just picked up that, yeah, you just picked up that rookie Benjamin. I think it's Benjamin. Um, and then you have, the guy that came for our team. Oh man, for Washington, wide receiver
Samuel.
Samuel. Yes. And then you still got, I think, Knox as the tight end. You got Cooks
Now
as
they
their
got Kincaid. Kincaid.
yeah, and Knox.
Uh,
Kincaid is their number one tight end.
okay.
Knox is their backup.
All right.
And then you got the running back Cook, and then the young boy Davis. Right. So what I look at is this: is they have more of a wild card where you can't really find their tendencies. On the Ravens side, I think they're going through an identity crisis where they're trying to figure out what type of team they are because they got a lot of players that mismatch within their team. Likely is more of a Monken offense. Andrews is more of a running formation offense. Like I forgot the runner, the coordinator that's in Chargers right now. But then you have Henry, right? They picked up Henry. Henry is more of an eye back where he needs to have a fullback, right? But they have it in the Monken offense, which is right next to um, Jackson, which that's not Monken's offense. Monken's offense is more of a spread offense, have a running back right beside you and run the game from the running back behind on the pistol or from right beside you, right? So they're trying to find their identity. Then they haven't been running like that. Their offensive line got plucked. Half their offensive line is in Jets, I think, or some. Yeah, I know two of the guys is in Jets from the Ravens, and then they don't have another true number one receiver. I think Zay Flowers is good, but he's not their true number one receiver. I honestly think it needs to come. The offense needs to come through Likely. So they're playing. Their offense is like not there. So I put the edge on Bill's offense more than the Ravens. On the defensive side got changed around. They lost a lot of players. They got the brand new coach. Um, yeah, brand new coaches, brand new schemes. So they got some corners, good secondary, but I really they, like their weakness is Humphreys. So I don't see them really running too much. I mean, passing too much on them. I see Allen going off on this game again because other weapons. So I on the defensive side, I lean more towards um, Bills covering Jackson than the Ravens covering Allen because it's the battle of the two elite quarterbacks, that the two phenomenal quarterbacks that can run and throw.
Mm-hmm.
So I put the edge. I can see why they picked the Bills on this, but the X factor is they're playing at home. Um, they just won. Ravens just won. They need to win this game to keep it going because if not, they'll be 1-4 or 1-3 or something like that. And then um, the Bills is 3-0 right now. I don't see the Bills with the. I don't see the Bills holding um, the lead long. When somebody has the light on them, I don't feel like the Bills can withstand that light. They need to be in the shadows where everybody else is working and then come back on top at the end. That's the type of team that I see the Bills are. So with the home edge, with that confidence, if it's not this week, it's gonna be next week if they win this week. But I do give a little bit of edge to the Bills because of their um on the offense side is just how fluid they are. Everything's going through Allen, and then on the Ravens side, I think they be trying to figure out what they can do. Are they a running team? Are they a passing team? Are they going to throw to the tight ends? Are they not going to throw to the tight ends? It's just everywhere with them. To me, I haven't seen their rhythm on offense, so that's why I give the edge to Buffalo.
The edge to Buffalo. Okay. Yeah, I was just looking at a few things here. The O line D line matchup. Um, Neither one of them look like they have a strong advantage. To be
Mm-mm.
honest, the Ravens slightly worse offensive line than the Bills. Um, but so I think, but you going against two mobile quarterbacks, which is going to be play a factor. Um, it's still going to be
Not
able to move.
not really because the both defense know how to play against running quarterbacks. They practice with them all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. So so the defense could really be the factor here and being able to contain each of those good quarterbacks that they got. You know, um,
I'm trying to think
uh,
who is more nasty as a nasty defense, the Ravens or the Bills?
it'd be the Ravens, I think. But the Ravens
Yeah,
defense, I don't know. Well, not with Marlon Humphrey, man. I don't know about him.
he was doing a lot of holding. This like Raekwon is like there's no bully. I can't like right now. Who has the biggest bully on each team on defense? I would probably say Ravens because of Raekwon. He's more the tough factor. I don't know anybody on Buffalo that's like the difference makers on Buffalo. That's going to give you an impactful. But I do know this is a must win for the Ravens. This is a must win for the Ravens in a statement game because you're playing on Sunday night. You're 1-2. You gotta win.
Well, see that, and that's my thing. What we was talking about earlier, Matt Milano. That's probably one of their best defensive players.
Yeah, he is.
You know,
But
and him being on injured reserve, even though he didn't start the season, that's still got to be a factor. You know,
yeah,
especially in big games like this. Oh, they got Von Miller too.
yeah, they got they got Von Miller.
Um, yeah,
Let me see this. So
Greg
so
Russo. Um,
all right. So look, okay, I'm gonna say this right. So Buffalo beat Miami 31-10.
mhm.
Buffalo beat Jacksonville 47-10. Right.
Who else they play?
And they beat the Cardinals 34-28. That was their first game. Ooh. All right. So let me see what the Ravens played. And what I'm looking for is who was tested more. So all right, I'm gonna tell you this right. So okay, I already got my answer on this one. So the Ravens played first game against the Chiefs and lost by 7 points. They played against the Raiders and lost by 3 points. Pissed. They played against the Cowboys and won 28-25, but they let the Cowboys come back,
Mhm.
right? So I feel like the Ravens has been more tested than the Bills, who played the Cardinals 34 to 28, played the Dolphins second game 31-10. That's without Tua. Played the Jacksonville 47-10. I really think that they're going to be tested this week, this game. So that's why there's no injuries. There's hardly no injuries because they've been blowing out players playing teams. So I think I got the Ravens on this on just who's faced the toughest, who's been tested more. I got the Ravens, and they need to win. Ravens need to win because they're 0-2 in the conference or division. They're 0-2 against AFC teams,
Mhm.
so they need to win going into Bengals. So that's an
So
edge
that's
right there.
so let's give let's go back to emotional factors and importance of the
Yes,
game. Importance of the game, I think the edge goes to
Ravens.
Baltimore.
Yep.
So I'm gonna give him 2 points for that.
because the pressure is now on Bills. The Bills are not. The Bills can't sneak up on nobody right now. The Bills is number one, so they can't. I don't. I feel like they can't handle pressure.
That
So,
we didn't have any advantage on coaching on either side, right?
uh, the only advantage that Ravens have is they have a better coaching. Their head coach has won Super Bowls. He's been through tougher games. Bill's head coach chokes a lot. He makes dumb calls sometimes. So the fact that it's more on coaching style or coaching awareness would be more on Harbaugh. And he got a coaching background with all his his dad, his brother. So it's built in him. And it's saying from McDermott, but I think it's more of a family thing with Harbaugh. So I give the edge to Harbaugh.
Okay.
He got two Super Bowl rings, I think.
Yeah, this that didn't come into play, and I mean, but I hear you though. So I'm gonna get that edge. Okay. So I think, yeah. I mean, so we good for right now. I say we shut it down. We've been on for about an hour. Right
Yeah.
now, according to this, uh, it's saying, right now the bets of the week are is saying here.
What with the spread? You talking about?
Um, what I gotta go back. So here they had Baltimore favored -2.5, and it's
I can
even with that though, it's still giving Buffalo the edge by a lot.
I
Even
wonder
with putting in those factors.
I wonder why though.
It's really so the biggest factor here is going to be the this here, the FPI index, and it's because they got Buffalo so high. They got Buffalo as the best team in the league right now, right above San Francisco at 7.1, and they got
Yeah.
Baltimore. Um, so they take that into effect. They got them as the best team in the league. They got Baltimore at number 6. Um,
That's wow.
better offense and better defense. So that's really what it is. I think the way Buffalo. Oh, but we got to factor in Buffalo coming off that Monday night game.
Oh, they're playing two Monday night games. I mean, no, they're playing
They
Sunday night game.
Yeah, so they had a Sunday. So you got to give them. You got to. That's an advantage
The
for Baltimore because they had less days to rest.
okay, so this is the factor that give them. I understand now why they're giving them more opportunity. So, like on Bleacher Report, they show season performance, right? And it showed season record between Buffalo and Bill and Ravens is 3-0 against 1-2. Record versus the spread, Buffalo is 3-0. Baltimore is 1-2. Record outdoor 3-0. Buffalo is 0-2 outdoor. Record in light rain, they're 2-0. But Baltimore is 0-1, which is going to rain this weekend. So that's going to be a factor too. I forgot all about the rain. It's going to be like, yeah, rain and wind. So I do give the advantage to Baltimore. I mean, to Buffalo because they have all that weather they deal with all the time.
Yeah, that is a factor for
And they already played in a rain game already. So I understood now.
yeah.
I can understand now why they said that.
So you saying that's a benefit for Buffalo?
Yeah, because if you
Okay.
played in the rain, you know how to play in the rain. Your confidence is more higher. You don't worry about slipping. You don't worry
Right.
about dropping balls. You know, you've already done it. You know what to do. You know how to play in it. If you already
Yeah.
lost, if you already lost in the rain, in the back of your head, you're like, dang, it's raining. You got to overcome that thought to say, okay, now I gotta look the ball in. Is it gonna slip? You know, am I gonna slip? Do I have the right cleats? So forth and stuff like it. It's always gonna be back of your head. I know for
There we
me when
go.
when I'm playing, as soon as it rains, I'm like, man, okay, I gotta look the ball all the way in. I gotta make sure I basket it because if I don't, it can slip right through my hand if my hand is too wide open.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. So I think that's good for the night, man. We got it's still, based on our analysis, we saying we like Buffalo. So far, I mean, we haven't put in all the factors, but for the most part, Baltimore has Buffalo has the favorite over Baltimore at home, and that's really off of the FPI index, you know. Um, but there are a lot of factors in Baltimore's favor. Uh, you know, Buffalo coming off a Monday night game. Um, we give the coaching advantage to Baltimore. We give the importance of the game factor to Baltimore. We give the injuries to Buffalo. Um, so we'll just keep diving in. Uh, but
Yeah,
right
we got all the
now,
way until Sunday. We got all the way until Sunday. A lot of things
yeah,
can change. Somebody can get hurt. You know,
a lot of
somebody can
things
say
could
something.
change.
Yep, somebody can say something in the media that people get pissed off about.
Yep. So, and then the other one we looked at was Green Bay. Green Bay was the favorite, but we like Minnesota to win that one. So,
Yeah.
so we're taking so far we're taking Green Bay. I mean, we're taking Minnesota over Green Bay at Lambeau Field, taking Buffalo over Baltimore and Baltimore. That's a tough one, but you know, got to go with the model. Unless we find the factors to change it, right now we're gonna work what we got with the model. So,
All right,
all
everyone.
right,
We'll start sending some stuff out. You know, give little updates on how we're looking. All right,
yes,
everyone.
yep.
Y'all have a good one.
Check out those shorts.
Yeah. Subscribe. You know what
Check
to
out
do.
those. Yep. All
All
right.
right.
Peace.